we are moving on with this drawing and we're looking particularly at the features. So they're not just proportions anymore, we're going to flush them out. So I'm just taking the measurement of that eye and I use my index finger to close off that measurement and then I compare it to the middle space. I want to see if there's one or more eye lengths in between her two eyes. And it's a tiny bit wider than just one eye in between the two eyes for her. And then I'm also going to look at the height of the eye. You can compare the height of the eye to the width. That's what I'm doing there. I'm just looking at that height of the eye. All that information is important to my drawing. Now you can see I have tick marks. The tick marks are both for the length of the eye, but I've also put a couple tick marks to indicate the height of the eye. And I can adjust these. That's why it's important that they're so light. And if you just saw me do that, I wiped away with my finger. So if there was a tick mark that was inaccurate, I just wipe it away, and it's not a big deal. And you're going for the shape of the eye. Don't forget to get that pink caruncle, which is that thing in the corner of your eye nearest the nose. When you're doing the eye shape, think like a slim football. And ideally, the eyes fall right on the eye line, midway through. So half the eye is above that line, half the eye is below. And I'm going in and getting the crease above each eye. You want to check to see if your model has a crease there. And I'm going to roughly get in the eyebrows. So all of these things I want to be able to move if necessary. So that's why it's really important that we stick to light, loose shading. So mini strokes to make this, not just one solid, thick, heavy stroke. I want you to think about doing a more sketchy approach. And you can see I have my reference picture right there next to me. That helps me to look and compare. So I bounce my eye from the reference to my drawing. And then I make adjustments. Like you can see right there, like that left eyebrow is higher than the right, so I'm going to have to make some changes. And it doesn't have to be 100% perfect at this stage. Just like we did before, we're going to be shading in the iris without actually doing a perfect circle. And you do want to find the center of the eye if the iris is in the center. Sometimes a person's looking one way or the other. And you do want to think circular shaped with that iris. So I'm giving it some light tone. That doesn't mean I can't move it later. I want to make sure that I can still erase and move things out, which is why I don't ever go too heavy with my shading at first. And I'm leaving a little gap for the highlight within the eye. I want to try having that in mind from the beginning. And then I am getting a little bit of the underside of the lid there, and I'm slimming down that shape. Then I'm going to go into the other eye and do the exact same thing. And I am really conscious of the shape of the iris, but also the shape of the white in the eye to the left of the iris and to the right. I see that as a shape. Now I'm going to go into the nose, and I'm just checking. Usually if you drop a line straight from the corner of the eye, the inside corner of each eye, that's how you can find the width of the nose. The other good measurement rule is that one length of the eye is equal to the bottom of the nose. And I want to make sure that my nose is just about resting on that line I first made for the nose line. So on my model, you're seeing more of the left side of her face than the right side, which is why you're seeing more of the left nostril than the right. You may have a different model that is like from a straight on point of view, and you may see equal amounts of nostril. That's where you need to be observant. So I am going to go in and get some light shading. And I told you guys this before, I love using a hatch when I do this. So I do a diagonal stroke and I lightly shade in. I am getting a few values here, but I'm not going as dark as I think I'll ultimately need to go. And the reason why is because I want to be able to move things. I make mistakes, and sometimes when I step back and look at my work from afar, I see things, mistakes or errors or things that just need a little adjusting, and I want to be able to make those adjustments. So I am getting a little bit of shading around the eye, very light, and a little bit of light shading around the temple. And down the bridge of the nose. You remember that when you're doing the nose, you want it to kind of taper in as it goes up to the eyes. And you don't want to ever draw lines connecting the corner of the eye to the nose. You want that nose to look like a form. And if you go too dark, make sure you stamp down with the eraser and lift off. The best practice is to go light enough in the first place. So here I worked on the nose a little bit, and now I'm going to the lips. So the order of operation is eyes, nose, lips. I'm kind of working my way down. I'm not saying that that's the only way you can approach this. It's just a way that works for me systematically. And just because I hit it up with one layer doesn't mean it's done. In fact, I'm just getting it to a midway complete stage. And then when you have those features in place, I'm also going to go to the neck and shade that neck. The neck is almost always going to be darker than the face. And that's because the neck is usually in shadow. Your face sticks out beyond the neck and it casts a shadow. So the head is projected farther out. The neck is more recessed. And then here's what it looks like after I've worked on it some more. So I've done some light shading around the face, but I've also gone and kind of scribbled in the hair. Now I am intending to do more than this. This is just, like I said, probably about 60 to 70% complete at this phase.